Alright guys, here it is, the Tekno EB48 2.0. I swear it says that under all this mud. This is the new Tekno 1/8 buggy. I had just gotten it together. Didn't do any videos or anything on it, just got it built and out on the track. This buggy is awesome, rides on rails, it is so much fun to drive. So I'll do a quick overview on it and I'll show you what I did. For the tires, I'm using the Proline Buckshots. These are some great tires. Nice and knobby, perfect for the track that I'm running on. I followed the instructions up to a T, used the proper oils that came for the shocks. These are dialed in real nice, no issues. They really work well. I got to admit, I was really excited to get this thing out. I just painted it up as fast as I could just to get it out onto the track. I'm actually flaking, my paint's coming off, body's cracked. I did use Tamiya PS paints, however, everything's starting to chip off. Probably didn't let it dry long enough, whatever. And the only crap part about the whole thing is that the EB48 2.0 bodies are fairly new. They're on back order. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another body until at least May. By the way, I'm shooting this video in April. So there you go. The sway bar setup is really nice on this. It's got just the two pieces on the end that holds it in. There's a bearing on either side, really nice and smooth. The shocks are the same front and rear. Not really sure exactly why, but performance-wise, no issues there. There's a couple things that this version does not have. The mud guards that came on the EB48.4, they're not included on this one. So that is one thing that I guess you can add on if you want to. The battery strap is thicker on this. They don't have those side straps. They just include one thick center strap, which I do like this a lot better, and I've had no issues with the battery slopping around. This chassis is a lot wider than the EB48.4. There's basically no plastic on either side, except for maybe these top like little walls here. Really, these just kind of keep some dirt out. And they also have some little hooks in there to retain the wires. I did opt to go with a metal spur gear on this one. So this is a 44 tooth spur with a 16 tooth pinion. And this 16 tooth pinion is married up to the 1900 kV Tekin Gen 3 T8 motor with a RX8 Gen 3 ESC. I have the same setup on my EB48.4. I love it, so I carried it over into this buggy. I went a little different on the servo. I went with a ProTech 170S BL. This is a great servo, plenty of power, really feels good on the track. And just looking at things real quick, you would think the one on the right is the brand new one. That is actually the EB48.4. And I pulled this out so I can compare this to the new 48 2.0. This 48.4 was completely redone. I got a new body, painted it up, cleaned the entire thing as well as I could. Got the shock rebuilt in the rear. I did actually bend one of the shafts. So I fixed it up with a 137mm Tekno shaft. Got the shocks, everything else dialed in, and changed all the fluids out of the diffs, everything else. I ran this car super hard for about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. Really just needed some TLC. So comparing the two, you can see the EB48 2.0 on this side is a lot wider than the previous 48.4. As far as length, they are about the same. I don't really see a difference there. The wing that is on this 48.4 is actually off of the 2.0. The stock wing is cracked, it's shredded. Not even using it anymore. This is a lot lighter and this is a better wing in my opinion. You can see the mud guards that were included with the 48.4. They're not included on the 48 2.0, but it's not really that big of a deal. Not as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. But I do run the risk of having some rocks or whatnot hitting the posts where the sway bar connects. So a couple things that are different. You can see the 2.0, the shock tower is actually smaller than the 48.4. The sway bars, how they're hooked up, as I mentioned before, it's a different design. 2.0 just has the two bearings, it's a lot more free. And the shocks are the same front and rear on the 2.0. Whereas on the 48.4, they are different. On the inside, you can see the difference. The chassis on the 2.0 is a lot wider, as mentioned. This is all aluminum straight across. On the 48.4, you have the aluminum in the center, then you have the plastics that kind of extend it out a little further and overall it's still a lot more narrow than the 2.0. The straps on the 48.4 are these kind of cross with a center. The strap on the 2.0 is a lot better. I do like this a lot more. You can see the tray difference too, where the tray is really just against the chassis. You can see the 48.4 has a plastic tray, whereas the 2.0, the battery's pretty much just laying right onto the aluminum chassis. Now, one of the reasons I really took some time to redo this 48.4 is because the ESC went on it. It's a Tekno RX8 Gen 3, just like on the 2.0. But on this one, I was getting the basically code of death. So in the manual, when you look under important LED codes, I was getting this code here, LEDs 1 and 2, 6 and 7, which basically says it's either a wrong motor type, motor wire disconnected, or internal short in the ESC, or motor detected. Check motor wire solder joints and plugs, motor wire disconnected. So I checked all the wires. I made sure that everything was okay. Everything was okay. I even tried another motor on it to see if it was maybe the motor. Nope. Fortunately, looks like the ESC burnt out. I did just get this 3 weeks ago, so I am going to put a warranty claim into Tekno. There are some things going on in the world right now that are way more important than ESCs, so I will see what I can do about getting this returned, fixed, and sent back. So back to the differences between the 48.4 and the 2.0. The way the motor actually mounts in, on the 48.4 it was kind of an angled system where it would slide in. The 48 2.0 uses more of the 410.2 system, just the direct slide straight through. They even have a little notch on the side to allow you to slide things in easier. One of the biggest complaints I have between the 48.4 and the 2.0 is the receiver box. I even saw this pointed out on the RC network where there's just this gaping hole here, which, you know, it's not supposed to be waterproof. I get all that, but it still allows dirt and things to get in. Whereas on the 48.4, not sure if I can get that on camera, but they actually have a little plastic piece that kind of locks down on the wires, and it keeps the dirt and things from getting in. When I took this thing apart to rebuild it, didn't really have any dirt or anything else in there. It really held up great. I guess the other obvious difference that you can see is with the top plate on the spur. The plate here is a one-piece design, whereas on the 48.4 you have kind of two side pieces with a separate top plate that screws in. This one on the 2.0 is a one-piece design. It's still 4 screws, but it's just a one piece and it just kind of pops in, whereas this has two separate sides with the top. So I'll put it on the table. I am not a pro. I am not a professional racer. I do this for fun. I think RC, backyard track running, things like that are just a great time. Which one would I recommend? I couldn't tell you. Honestly, they're both great cars. If you want the latest and greatest and want to spend a little bit more money, get the 2.0. But if you don't want to spend as much and you still want to have a good time out, bashing around, having some good times, pick up the 48.4. You'll save a few bucks. It's a great car overall, and I have a lot of fun with it. For those who follow my channel, I'm into crawling, I'm into bashing, I'm into a lot of things. Buggies are new to me, and I'm having a great time with them. The best part about RC, there's so many different things you can do with RC, and just have a good time. I will say though, if you don't have a track or you have something that's, you know, kind of smooth, like a smooth dirt road or something like that, if you don't have that, maybe stay away from a buggy. I really wouldn't recommend bashing these in the backyard. Taller grass, things like that, they're not really made for that. Alright, so enough jibber jabber. Just wanted to show you what the new 2.0 look like. Wanted to show a little comparison of this to the 48.4. Alright, so I'll go get this cleaned up and get it ready for the next time on the track. Everyone stay safe out there. Catch you on another one.